Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism and Sikhism is nothing but part of Sanatana Dharma. There is no such religion. These Britishers created 4 religions out of it. For Sanatana Dharma, there are only 1108 Upanishads. Britishers started publishing Upanishads. Ultimately, they published 1,338 Upanishads. 230 Upanishads Britishers manufactured. So 4 Varnas, Brahmin, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, they were subdivided into 7,462 castes. And the next operation was wonderful. Using this caste, they wanted to subdivide India. You Hindus, you are idiots. You cannot raise an army. You cannot fight. You are all peace-loving idiots. To tell the Hindus, to demoralize the Hindus, Britishers created this particular story. Who divided the caste? Britishers divided. They created a schedule, and whoever they put inside became scheduled caste. Then tribe, they said scheduled tribes. And then OBC, and then the upper caste. Who divided upper and lower? Britishers. And then when the Britishers left, they divided India not into 2 countries, but into 11 countries. Kudos to Narendra Modi. He said nothing, this caste census will not be done. India is one. Don't divide us caste-wise.
You and me have to be very proud that we are Indians. We were ruled by Muslims for some time, we were ruled by Britishers for some time. But we are a great nation, 10,000 years old, stretching into 3 continents, Asia, Europe, and Africa.
When Britishers came to India, they wanted to rule India, for which our history has to be corrupted. First, they came to India with a master plan of conquering India from east, south, and then the west, and then go to the center. Just as Chanakya told Chandragupta Maurya. So Bengal was the richest place in India. When Clive reached Murshidabad, he says, Murshidabad is richer than London, our capital city. So to defeat Siraj-ud-Dawla, what he did was, they got Mir Jafar and others and paid the soldiers. So that Battle of Plassey, there was no war, just 15 minutes. When Britishers shot, all the bullets and cannons came out. When the Siraj-ud-Dawla shot, no bullet and cannon came out, because water was poured into all the cannons of Siraj-ud-Dawla. And that Mir Jafar's grandson's great-grandson was Pakistan president, now before 1956. Now, after Bengal was captured, they came, next intention was to capture Bihar and Orissa, for which they came to the Battle of Buxar of 1764. Nizam had declared independence in Andhra Pradesh. So they got into an alliance with Nizam. Instead of fighting him, they fought him. They came to South India. South India was having 18 principalities. Now they were fighting the Wadayars. So instead of saying that they are fighting Wadayars, they said they are fighting Hyder Tipu. So that Muslim-Hindu debate has... In fact, Hyder Ali was only chief army of the Wadayar dynasty. His prime minister was Purnaya Brahmin. 8 out of 12 ministers in the Wadayar dynasty or Tipu Sultan's dynasty was Hindu. And Tipu Sultan was called so not because he was Sultan, because he was born because of the blessing of Tipu Sultan Olia, a Muslimic saint. That's why he was called Tipu Sultan. Then an anti-Muslim thing has to be created. So they wanted to divide Hindus and Muslims, for which they created a fantastic theory that Hindus and Muslims are something apart and all those things. All of you know the story. And after the Tipu was defeated by 1798, in 1806, they brought the Kochi under their control. And then by 1809, after Velathambi's revolt, Travancore was brought under their control. Then Dravidians came from the north, from the Caspian Sea coast. They were called Turanians, Turkey and Iran. That's why Turanians. They came to India. They became Dravidians. Then the Kolarians came. Their descendants is Gujaratis and Marathis. Because they were going to fight the Marathis, they want to tell the rest of India, they are not your people, they are different people. They are the people, the children of Kolarians. And then they said, people subsequently came, Aryans came. The descendants of Aryans are the caste Hindus, Brahmin, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas and all. And then came the Greeks, Bactrians, Kushans, then came the Scythians and all the rest. Then the Portuguese, then the Muslims came, then Christians came, Jews came, Then the Portuguese came, Dutch came, French came, and we came. Who are Indians? Nobody. What a wonderful history. India have the highest number of population in the world, 142 crores. But nobody is Indian. Everybody came from outside. And we came last. Hindus came little earlier. Muslims came between Hindus and Britishers. Wonderful theory this fellow created. Absolutely absurd theory to fool the Hindus and the Indians. They created the story. Then they went into 1818, the Battle of Kirki, in which Marathas and Gujaratis were defeated. With the help of other Hindus from UP, Bihar and other areas, they defeated Maratha and this place. Then in 1819, they created Oxford History of India. They decided that Hindus have to be subdivided according to different religions. So 1819, for the first time in the world history, they created a new religion, Hinduism. Sanatana Dharma was divided into Hinduism, like communism, socialism, etc. And Islam was created, Hinduism. And the word Hindu means people living in the coast of the Indus River. So the moment a Hindu hears Hindu, he thinks that I belong to Pakistan because I came from the shores of Indus River to India. To fool the Hindus, they've created a word called Hinduism. There is only Sanatana Dharma, no Islam is there. 1839, the Ashokan edicts were read by James Princeps. And immediately the Britishers realized a new religion can be created. So they created another religion, Buddhism, Lord Buddha and Lord Buddha. Who was Buddha? He was a saint of the Sanatana Dharma. He never claimed he created a religion. And Vishnu Bhagavan had two histories. One is Malsingurmam, Varaham, Narasimham, Vamanan, like that, Balarama, Krishna, Kalki. But the other Vishnu's Dashavadara story is there, in which Balarama is not there. After Krishna, Buddha is the 9th avatar and 10th is Kalki. Our beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modi, when he had Prana Pratishtha at Ayodhya, the second list is printed there. Buddha is the 9th avatar. Balarama doesn't figure in the list of Vishnu's Dashavadara at Ayodhya by our beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now Buddha, who was a Sanatana Dharma philosopher, was converted to have a new religion called Buddhism. Why? Because if China, Japan, Thailand, Ceylon and all those Buddhist areas stand with Indians, British colonialism cannot happen. European colonialism cannot happen in Asia. So Buddhists and the Hindus have to be divided, for which they created Buddhism. And then they said, now they are turning towards Punjab after defeating the Marathas and the Punjabis and the Gujaratis. So they said, Scythians came to India and they were Toramana and Mihiragula and etc. And they conquered India up to Madhya Pradesh. And after they were defeated by the Guptas and major part of the fellows left and balanced people remained here. They became Agnigul Kshatriyas, Chauhans, Solagis, Paravaras, all those fellows. And their descendants are the present day Punjabis. Religion-wise they divided, caste-wise they divided. Then they imported the theory that these fellows are a different religion. Sikhism, new religion. There is no Sikhism. When Guru Nanak started this thing, the eldest son of a Hindu family was given to the Panth to fight Aurangzeb and Jahangir downwards. They declared that they are Hindus. When Guru Nanak declares that they are Hindus, the eldest sons of Hindu families fought. These Britishers made it into a separate religion, Sikhism. And then they wanted to colonize Burma and Ceylon and Thailand, where Jain religion is there, little strong. So they created another religion, Jainism. Actually, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism and Sikhism is nothing but part of Sanatana Dharma. There is no such religion. These Britishers created 4 religions out of it. Then they curved, after 1846, they conquered, after Rana Ranjit Singh died, they conquered in 4 Anglo-Sikh wars, Punjab, Haryana, Kashmir, Pakistan areas. Then they curved down to Delhi, 1857. The great first war of independence, in which Bahadur Shah Zafar was defeated, Jhansi Rani was killed, Tandya Topi was killed, and Nana Sahib ran away to Nepal to escape. They conquered the whole of India. Now, since Britishers conquered India, Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, then Tamil Nadu, then Karnataka, Maharashtra, Punjab, and Delhi. They conquered India clockwise. So that is why Tagore, when he wrote Janaganamana, he came on anti-clockwise direction. Punjab, Sindhu, Gujarat, Maratha, Dravida, Utkala, Bengal. Britishers conquered India clockwise, so Tagore wrote it anti-clockwise, Janaganamana. After getting the whole of India under their control, they decided Sanatana Dharma has to be destroyed. For which, what they did, 1861 they started Asiatic Society. Alexander Cunningham, unfortunate to have that fellow's name, Alexander Cunningham, and led by him, Indian Hindu texts were corrupted one by one. They took the Vedas, inserted 108 sentences, which was never a part of Rigveda. Luckily for us, the Shankaracharya series, they edited the Rigveda and deleted the sentences which Britishers added. Then they started publishing Upanishads. For Sanatana Dharma, there are only 1108 Upanishads. Britishers started publishing Upanishads. Ultimately, they published 1,338 Upanishads. 230 Upanishads Britishers manufactured. Using Hindu Pandits, artificial Upanishads are created and printed. 1,338 Upanishads. It took Ramakrishna Mission and the successor Vivekananda almost 60 years to find out which are the forged Upanishads and which are the real Upanishads, which are the real 1108 and the forged 230 Upanishads. And in these Upanishads, they created stories that Indians are two different people. Aryans in one way, Dravidians in another way, and scheduled caste and scheduled tribe in another way. They divided the Sanatana Dharma into so many different segments. They took Manusmriti and artificial insertions were given. If a Shudra ever learned the Vedas, molten lead should be poured into his ears. In the real Manusmriti, it is not there. Britishers artificially put it inside. Like that, in Manusmriti rules, they made a lot of things. Then Manusmriti said, Pida Rashadi Kaumare, Fatro Rashadi Yavani, Putro Rashadi Vartike, Nastri Sandra Marhedi with a question mark. He is not woman entitled for freedom. This is what Manusmriti asked. What the Britishers did, they took the question mark out. Na Sri Swadandri Marhadi, woman is not entitled for freedom. Exactly opposite the Britishers created by removing their question mark to suppress women. That is why they created that story. Then they made a wonderful finding. They said, Hindus are so peace-loving. They never went out of India to conquer anybody. Hindus never invaded any other country. Why did they do so? To demoralize the Hindus. You Hindus, you are idiots. You cannot raise an army. You cannot fight. You are all peace-loving idiots. To tell the Hindus, to demoralize the Hindus, Britishers created this particular story. Hindus from India conquered Afghanistan. Hindus from India conquered Tibet. Hindus from India conquered Nepal. Hindus conquered Burma, Thailand, entire Southeast Asia. Srivijaya Empire, it conquered up to Fiji. Hindus conquered almost 15 countries in the world. At that time, the Britishers told us, you are all idiots. You are not a warlike people. Hindus, you keep quiet. You are a very bad, very peaceful people. False history was told to the Hindus. And then, in 1881, they came out with a wonderful theory. That is the Aryan innovation theory. Max Muller, a German scholar, was invited to England. He was given free food and this thing, made to live in Oxford University, and wrote the Sacred Books of the East, 50 volumes. I have the entire volumes with me in my library, in which he said, Aryans came down from the Central Asian steppes, Yemenite people. They came, defeated and conquered the Indus Valley civilization and conquered the whole of India. Now, absolutely false theory. Why did they create the theory? They created this theory so that one branch of Aryans went to Europe. They were the ancestors of Germans, French, and English. Another branch, Indo-European branch, came to India. And the children of those people are the Indian Brahmin, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. So, you Brahmin, Kshatriyas, and Vaishya, and we Britishers, we are bhai, we are cousins. So, you cousins help us to conquer India. You Brahmins and Kshatriyas and Vaishya should help us to conquer India because we are one. Britishers did the same thing wherever they went. They went to Africa and said, out of Africa theory. Out of Africa, all the people came, all the world people are descendants of those Africans. So Britishers said, Africans, you and me are cousins, so allow us to conquer Africa. They went to America killed thousands of Red Indians and all. They created a theory. The Nordic people, ancestors of Germanic and French people, they crossed over to Atlantic and reached Newfoundland and America, and that's why you people red in color, we are red in color, we are cousins. They went to Australia, of all the people, killed thousands of Maoris. Then they created theory. Austric people from Austria went to India, Austro-Atloid, and from Austro-Atloid they went into Vietnam and reached Australia. Maoris and Britishers are bye-bye cousins. Same theory they created. You Brahmins, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, we are cousins. You come with us, we will rule together. That was the Aryan theory. There is no caste or race called Aryans. There is no caste or race called Dravidians. Artificial British creation. 1881, they came with a wonderful idea. Census. They conducted a census of India. And in that census, they subdivided the Hindus. India had 4 Varnas, Brahmin, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras. The Britishers made a census in 1881. They created 7,462 castes. Brahmins, hardly 1% of India's population, they were subdivided into 158 castes. Iyer separate, Iyengar separate, Nambudiri separate, Namburipar separate, Pattar separate. 158 Brahmins they created. 1.5% of the Indian population, Brahmins. They were subdivided into 158 groups. Nayars, 12% of Kerala. They were divided into 56 groups. Kauravas, hardly around 6 lakh people. They were subdivided into 21 subcastes. So 4 Varnas, Brahmin, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, they were subdivided into 7,462 castes. And the next operation was wonderful. Using this caste, they wanted to subdivide India. Kudos to Narendra Modi. He said, nothing, this caste census will not be done. India is one. Don't divide us caste-wise. Now that is the thing, caste division. And then what they did was, they subdivided their caste into 4 groups. Upper caste, one segment. Backward caste, another segment. Other backward caste, OBC, another segment. And scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Who divided the caste? Britishers divided. They created the schedule, and whoever they put inside became scheduled caste. Then tribe, they said scheduled tribes. And then OBC, and then the upper caste. Who divided upper and lower? Britishers. They put Pulayas as a scheduled caste. Pulayas were the ruling community of Kerala. The Trivandrum was ruled by Pulaya ruler, Pulayanar Kota. Pulayanar was the king of Pulayas. They had a famous Kota, fort, Pulayanar Kota. The Democratic king was Pulaya. They made Kauravas, another subdivided caste. Kauravas were the leading community of Tamil Nadu. In Sanghakalam works, many of the kings and queens were Kauravas, and many of the Sanghakalam poetesses, Ilaveni was Kaurava, Kurumakal Chati was Kaurava. 5 important poetesses of Sanghakalam is Kaurava. And these fellows, they made it into scheduled caste. Parayas, another community, Parayas. Parayas was the ruling caste of Palghat. They were called Vallu Konadiris. They were rulers of Vallunad. Vallunad means Parayas. And Parayas became so famous that when the American president Biden wanted to scold South Arabian king, he said he will be international Paraya. Paraya became such famous. American president uses this word Paraya. They were once the rulers of a major part of India. And when 437 princely states, which was associated with the British, out of which 157 princely states were ruled by SC/ST kings. Around 280 kings were OBCs, backward communities. When Britishers said there were 437 princely states, almost 150 kings were scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Around 300 of them were OBC kings and queens. And they say, backward, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. This caste division was to divide India further. And by 1893, great Vivekananda, who's famous quote, who always quotes from Upanishad, Uttishtada, Jagrada, Prapi, Varananda, from which you have taken your A3, the 3-1, arise, awake and all, Vivekananda's great quotation. He went to Chicago Congress and he started his speech. Brothers and sisters of America. Americans and the Britishers published it very widely. Vivekananda was accepted, the Aryan theory, that Europeans and Americans are their cousins. In Hindi, whenever you start a speech, Bhayo Brahano, Have you heard Narendra Modi Prime Minister speaking? Bhaiyo Maur Bahano, which Vivekananda just translated to English. Brothers and sisters of America. They stood up and had an applause and published saying that Vivekananda accepted that Indians and Americans and Europeans are cousins. What a wonderful thing. 1906, they formed the Muslim League. 1950s, Britishers decided North India and South India has to be separated, for which they had, within inverted comma, discovery of the Indus Valley civilization. There are 5,000 odd ancient cities, remnants in India, Northwest India, India, South India, etc. From Kiladi and Tiruchendur up to Indus Valley, Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, and up to Afghanistan. 5,000 cities were there. And many of these bricks they used to construct the railway line from Peshawar to our Amritsar. 140 kilometers of railway line was made with the bricks of the Indus Valley civilization. And they dug out all these things and said, this is Dravidian civilization. They were killed by the Aryans who came from the north, our cousins, British cousins and all. They came and invaded the whole thing and destroyed it. Indus Valley script is not destroyed even now. How did this fellow say they were Dravidians? Now, first time Dravidian, the word was used by the British missionary who came to South India. In 1890, he, in his famous book, used the word Dravidian. There is a Dravida Bhasha is there. Dravida means just people in the south. The great Shankaracharya, the greatest Malayali ever born, he says, I am Dravida Putra, he says. Varahamira uses the word Dravida. Dravida means only people in the south. But Britishers made it into a Dravidian, a race, Aryan race, Dravidian race. Why did they do it? North Indians are Aryans, South Indians are Dravidians. So North India and South India should never unite, for which they created this Dravidian conundrum, to say it in English. Wonderful thing. And then in 1913 Round Table Conference, they came and told Mahatma Ji, the great members, that India should have 3 types of electorates. The Hindu electorate, Muslim electorate, and the SC/ST electorate separate. The great Ambedkar told Gandhiji, this is a trap, Gandhiji. You and me are going into a trap. Don't sign this. Gandhiji walked out of the whole thing. And so India was never divided. 3 electorates. In every election there will be 3 electorates. Hindu electorate, Muslim electorate, and the SC/ST electorate. But after independence, for 10 years, we allowed the SC/ST electorate separate. But rest of India united together. Had Gandhiji signed that draft, India would have been permanently divided into so many segments. And then when the Britishers left, they divided India not into 2 countries, but into 11 countries. 1937, they separated Ceylon. They were not independent in 1947. 48, they were independent. Ceylon became a separate country. 1938, Burma was separated. 47, Burma was not given freedom. 48, they were given freedom. So Burma became a separate country. They said principalities will be separate. Nepal, Bhutan, and Sikkim became separate countries. Then he said, the Christian ruled areas will not be given to you. So Goa, Daman, Diu will be Portuguese. Pondicherry, Karaikal, Mahi, Yanam will be ruled by the French. Rest of India was divided into 2, India and Pakistan. So India was divided not into 2, but 11 countries. Buddhists got 4 countries, Bhutan, Sikkim, and Burma and Ceylon. Buddha Madam got 4 countries. Muslims got 3, Pakistan, Maldives, and Kashmir. Kashmir was a separate country at that time. 3 Muslim countries. Now, Christians got 2. Hindus, nil. Hindus have no country. Buddhists got 4 countries. Muslims got 3 countries. Christians got 2 countries. Hindus got Bujam. 1948, Pakistan invaded Kashmir. Kashmir signed a treaty with India, and Kashmir merged into India. 1954, Nehru operated, and the French president agreed for separation. So Pondicherry, Mahi, Yanam, and Karaikal came to India. 1961, Nehru said, get out of Goa. Salas of the dictator was in Portuguese. These are nothing to do, I will not vacate. Nehru sent the forces and conquered Goa. There's a V.K. Krishnaman, the defense minister was called Goa Constrictor. Goa Constrictor is the python, that B was changed to G. So Goa Constrictor, that was the name of Krishna Menon. 1975, the Sikkim, the King Chongyal and the Dorji had a problem. They came for mediation to Delhi and Indira Gandhi swallowed Sikkim. And in 1971, Pakistan is divided into two. Indira Gandhi divided Pakistan and Bangladesh. So ultimately now the 11 countries have become 8 countries. Buddhists have 3 countries left with them, Bhutan, Burma and Ceylon. Muslims have 3, Pakistan, Bangladesh and Maldives. Now Nepal was in between a Hindu country, but now it is secular country. So 3 Buddhist countries, 3 Muslim countries and no Hindu country. This is left now. So this is the wrong history created by the British. Now you and me have to unite. India is one. The real history is that in India, the oldest human remnants have been found in Chengalpet near Madras. That is called Chengalpet man. And other than that, the real fossil of human beings in India was found again in India. So in Europe, they were called Neanderthal men and Cro-Magnon men from the cave in which these skeletons were taken out. In Indonesia, they were called Java man. But what will we call the Indian skeleton? So they said, Rama, the great hero of the Ramayana, this name should be used. So this human skeleton was called Rama Pitekas. Adi Kavyam gave the name for the Adya skeleton, human skeleton, found in Tamil Nadu. The oldest human settlement is found in Tamil Nadu. Chengalpet man and Rama Pitekas. And then we find that the southern area people, they started spreading out. And Britishers, what they used, Turanian was separated from Dravidian. Dravidian was separated from, DNA was found. They said ancestral North Indian, ancestral South Indian. And likewise, they changed the names every time. They lived in the oldest settlements found, Gobaki Tepi and Kerala Tepi. If you can set the net, you can see Kerala Tepi and Tobake Tepi. In Kerala Tepi and Tobake Tepi, old relics were found out. What are the relics found out? Shivalinga, Narasimha, the 4th avatar of Vishnu, Narasimha, idols. Mother goddess, Kali, is found from Gobaki Tepi and Kerala Tepi, 8000 BC onwards. You come down in history, Sumeria, the oldest civilization, older than Egypt. Sumerians say that their ancestors crossed the Arabian Sea from southeast direction, came down in 8 boats and landed in Sumer. The oldest civilization says. Now what is southeastern direction? If you get down into Saudi Arabian Sea and just cross, you will reach Tamilagam. And from Tamilagam, these people went and found the first civilization in the world, Sumerian civilization. In Sumerian civilization, you find the Tamil words there. For village, Sumerians say Ur. Our ancestor, the Christian ancestor Abraham, he went from Ur to Israel. Ur, village. In Sumerian language, 125 words are Tamil words, 125 words. And the Sumerian skeletons checked up, find that the DNA of the Sumerians are the same of the Tamilians. 6,000 years back, the great Sumerian civilization is a Tamilian civilization, Dravidian civilization, which go and settled in Sumeria. And then we go to China. China have a 4,000-year-old statue, Shivalinga and Shiva, this thing. It was checked up with carbon dating. They found out that that statue is 4,000 years old. It has come from Tamil Nadu. The sculpture of the sculpture is Tamilian, original Tamilian, 4,000-year-old. Near Alexandria in Egypt, we have a place called Pandia. Now, very near that, there is a place called Pand, from where Cleopatra brought all the stones, etc. Now, many thought that this Pand has created this Pandia. But now we have found out from this Pandia, Chera king's inscription and order has been detected 10 years back. So now we understand Pandya is actually Pandya, the rulers of Tamil Nadu during the Sanghalam. So that Pandya became the one village name in Egypt. Now, from this area onwards, this influence was there. Now, we have Kashyapa, a great Rishi in our Puranas or the great works. This Kashyapa lived in Kursk, the place where Ukraine has invaded Russia now. That is the place where the original hermitage of Kashyapa Muni was found out. Now we call the sea Caspian Sea. Caspian Sea is Kashyapa Sagara. Because Kashyapa lived there, the sea is called Caspian Sea. And Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Kyrgyzstan put together, 5,000 Hindu temples have been detected. 5,000. Hindus were living in all those areas. No Aryan came from there. We have a continuous civilization from Turkey, Iran up to Tamil Nadu. Continuous civilization. This Kashyapa later migrated from Caspian Sea and lived in Kashmir. So Kashmir's original name is Kashyapa Mir, the hill on which Kashyapa lived. Kashmir have nothing to do with Muslims. Kashmir means Kashyapa Mir, the hill on which Kashyapa lived. So Hindu civilization was reigning from the whole area. Now DNA studies have been found out that the so-called Dravidian, ancestral South Indian they call it, the so-called Dravidian DNA is available in Romania, is available in Turkey, is available in Georgia, and it is available in 26 countries on all the sides of the Caspian Sea. South Indian, Dravidian, ancestral South Indian DNA has been detected. So we were living from Caspian Sea continuously up to the Indus Valley civilization and down into this place. And one Indus Valley city is called Harappa. That is a city named in the Rigveda. In the Dasaraknya war, one of the war is happening at a place called Hariyupa. A.C. Majumdar says Hariyupa and Harappa are the same. I am not a historian to fight with any of these fellows. Anyhow, Hariyupa and Harappa are the same. This place was called in other areas, other places as Meluha. One of the Meluhan merchants was caught in a civil case in Kuwait. The whole thing had been found out from the remnants of Dilmun. Dilmun is a place around 75 kilometers from the Kuwait city. And Dilmun, when it was dug out, we found a lot of stones in which cuneiform scripts are there, from which this fellow who came from Meluha conducted this crime and he was being described. And this Meluha actually gave a different name, a different word in Sanskrit. People living in Meluha or Harappa were called Meluha Kacha, one who lived in Meluha. That gave a word called Mlecha. In modern India, we call backward people as Mlecha. Mlecha is actually a word derived from Meluha. Another theory, I don't wish to fight with historians. Anyhow, Indus Valley civilization is mentioned in Dilmun, it is mentioned in Babylon and Sumeria. The northernmost Hindu temple across Himalayas have been discovered 100 kilometers south of Peking. From there, the whole influence is there. Now we come to the first epics. In Rigveda, the last king named is Santanu, the father of Bhishma. In Atharvaveda, last king named is Parishit. Parishit is Yudhishthira in the Mahabharata. So Rigveda, Atharvaveda, etc. periodically can be connected with these names.
The Ramayana story went to Egypt. And in Egypt, Ramses, the king of Babylon, his wife was kidnapped by Ramses. That is the story shifted there. There, the kidnapper became Ram. In our Ramayana, Ram is a hero. In Greek story, Ram is the father-in-law. In the Egypt, the kidnapper became Ramses. What a wonderful way it turns. Our Ramayana went into Arabia. They said, look, our story cannot say that the younger brother took the wife of the elder brother. So in Arabic Ramayana, they made Bali younger brother and Sugriva elder brother. Probably solved. Our Ramayana went to Thailand. Southeast Asian people said, oh, wife being kidnapped by somebody and we cannot say this fellow is a great man. So what the Thailand people said, in Ramakyo, Southeast Asian Ramayana, they made Sita the sister of Rama. So sister is kidnapped, no problem. Wife getting kidnapped is a big problem for Southeast Asians. So one Ramayana story going to different parts of the world, how it changes. The greatest festival of Egyptians is Ram Sita's festival. Rama and Sita festival is the greatest festival of ancient Egyptians. You and me have to be very proud that we are Indians. We were ruled by Muslims for some time, we were ruled by Britishers for some time. But we are a great nation, 10,000 years old, stretching into 3 continents, Asia, Europe, and Africa. Let us unite. Don't fight Hindu, Muslim, Christian, and all. We are all one. We are all one DNA. An occasional fellow may have come from outside. Unite. India was the richest nation in the world in 1662 when Milton wrote his Paradise Lost. The indescribable wealth of Satan has to be pictured. Ultimately, in Paradise Lost, Milton said, Satan's wealth is like the wealth of Ormuz and the Ind. India's wealth was so proverbial. 1/4 of world economy was India. Now, Britishers plundered us. 44 trillion dollars worth of wealth was plundered out of India. India became one of the poorest nations in the world. When India became independent, we were the 167th poorest country. By the year 2000, we came up and we became the 6th largest economy in the world. By 2014, we were the 5th largest economy in the world. And under the leadership of the beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modi, we should become number 3 or number 2 in the world. We should tell Sanatana greatness to the whole world. After Vivekananda and some Samis, hardly we have nobody now. Let us go to the whole world. Let us tell them how great is India. What is the great story of the Tamilians? How we created thousands of years world culture, we shaped the world culture. When that we can achieve, everybody sitting here to achieve it, then the voice of Koi become the voice of India. Thank you very much.